Last Friday at our Stock Talk, we got into a discussion of why isn't NVDA performing the way we thought it would based on the performance it's doing. After all, it has gross margins of 75%. To give you a comparison, Apple is at 45. No other company, hardware company like NVIDIA, gets that kind of performance. One that stood out to me is their average employee generates $3.6 million per year in revenues and 2 million in profits. That's unheard of. Particularly for a semiconductor company. They have a tremendous cash balance of $95.9 billion, whereas debt they have 8.4. So this is a fortress. It is a company that makes a product that nobody can match. The only real question around it is that companies like Amazon and Google and Meta are going to Broadcom and saying, why don't you design us a chip that is more specific to our needs, and we don't have to pay for those expensive chips that NVIDIA is making. But what Samantha told me was, yeah, but they're going to have to update those chips on a more regular basis, maybe even every 6 months, whereas the NVIDIA chip has the CUDA software that you can adjust and make changes on the fly and not have to replace them. So the cost of ownership is actually lower, even though the initial price is higher. So again, the question is, why isn't it performing that well? And I said to Don, who, as I said, knows as much about NVIDIA as Jensen Huang does, what do you think the price of the stock should be? And have you done like I have, gone in and projected what it's going to be worth at the end of, at the start of 27, 28, and 29? And he said, yes, I have. And so I said, let's compare your numbers, Don, to my current numbers. And then I'll go into Samantha and say, hey, we've got a earnings report coming up next Wednesday. Why don't you do a reanalysis and tell me before the earnings report what you think the price is going to come with the more information than you had back in January, where I asked you to. And so here are the numbers that came up. And as you can see, under Don's scenario, he believes that the end of this year, it's going to be at 325. Samantha thought in January it would be 255. And then this Friday, or Saturday, she updated it to 295. And then you can see here the prices that Don and Samantha in January thought, and Samantha today thinks, and you can go all the way out to 2029, and Don thinks at $611 will be the value. Samantha thought in January it'd be 350, has now updated that to 384. So you can see, and then the aggressive numbers are there as well. And what I want you to see is how there is some discrepancies here, but more importantly, what I want you to know is how Samantha came to the numbers she did for what she gave me this weekend. So I have put it in a podcast. It's a 24-page document. I've condensed it into a podcast, and I want to share that podcast with you in the description. You go into the description, you send me your email address, and I'll send you a link to the podcast so that before Wednesday, you have an idea of what they're going to be looking at and how they're going to establish what the future price of NVIDIA will be at the end of 2027 or 2026, 27, and 28, start of 2029. Because I think it's important that now that we have access to this data, and my prompt is 4.5 pages long, and what it basically does is says, based on past history of a mountain of companies, this is how a company's price grows based on the financials that they produce. And it's just a matter of numbers at that point, and analyzing them. The only issue that is not covered is market fluctuations. Why is a stock like NVDA assigned a PE ratio of somewhere in the neighborhood of 46 and given a price of whatever it is today, whereas Palantir gets a PE ratio of 200? That's the only variance, and that's market momentum, market sentiment, fear of missing out, whatever acronym you want to put on it. But I think it's important for you to become aware that this information is available to you. You should not be taking investing your money based on some talking head, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, CNBC, Fox Business, whatever. You should be looking at their books and analyzing their numbers and their performance, and then making an informed decision. And for God's sake, you should be knowing what they do, such as NVIDIA does not make semiconductors. They're an architect. The semiconductors are made over in Taiwan, at Taiwan Semiconductor, and then shipped to Amazon, Google, Apple, not so much Apple, Microsoft, and Meta. And there's a backlog, and there's a shortage of data centers and electricity and water. And so all of these things need to be taken into consideration as to what will the price of this stock be. So go into the description, send me your email address, and I'll send you the link to the analysis that supports today's numbers. The 295, the 337, the 384, and under the aggressive scenario, the 508. And then you make a decision before Wednesday and after Wednesday what you want to do relative to NVIDIA. Because I think this is a no-brainer. It's just how big is the payoff going to be. Hope that helps you. And I hope you can find your way to get on the bus and become an informed investor.